Well, Moon Gang, what an amazing day. What a way to kick off the final trading week of April. I hope there's a gigantic smile on your face because it was a beautiful day, especially if you happen to be involved in both AMC and GME. In this video, I'll be mainly talking about those two meme stocks. I'll be going over kind of what's going on in these stocks, why you should be extremely happy, and of course, I'll be going over the most up-to-date short interest numbers and some of the key technical levels we should be watching for the remainder of the week. I also want to spend just a little bit of time about what's going on with MVIS because I was getting quite a few questions about it today, and I know a lot of people out there are making quite a bit of money. So let's hop right into it. So let's start things off with AMC. It closed out the day at 11.50, which means it gained over 13%. GME closed out the day just below $169, which means it gained 11.7%. And MVIS, if you happen to be in any of these three, a massive congrats. MVIS closed out the day at 26.44, which means it gained 47%. And in post-market trading, it went as high as 29.70. At least as I'm filming this, it could definitely go higher. This was a great day. Because on top of that, especially with AMC, as you're about to see in the numbers, like we're fighting against the most shorts we've ever fought against. So not only is it like an amazing update, which means that they have to be down, but remember, they're paying short borrow fees. This is starting to feel like something special in terms of like, it feels like we're getting close to the end game. Like whatever, it almost feels like we're at the top of the ninth inning, maybe the bottom of the eighth. It feels like we're getting close to that point where something crazy can actually happen. And right now, like, this is just awesome. Like, it feels like, man, the action we're seeing in the market today, the fact that the shorts are going up, we're building up momentum, and this is absolutely phenomenal. All right, so let's hop into the numbers. But I guess before that, I just kind of want to go over something funny. We were talking about this on the live stream today. If you look up Melvin Capital, we know for the first quarter, they were down, I believe 49%, posted a huge loss. These were the main people betting against GameStop. It was posted as temporarily closed. And then also, if you look at their website, it's been nothing, I guess. So kind of something weird going on there, but puts a smile on my face. So in terms of AMC, what happened today? So there is a new basically days to cover that I want to talk about, but more importantly, the short interest, another day, and we see another increase in the people betting against AMC. Why are they doing it? I don't know. Maybe they have like a sick addiction to losing money. Who knows? But anyway, the borrow change at the end of the day, it ended up 300,000. At one point, we saw it as high as 1.2 million. So some people were covering. It makes sense because AMC was driving up. Then it came down to 500, went back up to 800. Now we ended the day at 300,000. It was kind of a very volatile day in the shares being borrowed, at least the net change. But in the end, the short interest is higher. It's around 23.67%. And the utilization, remember, that's just the ratio of the shares that are on loan versus the ones that like could potentially be lent. We're at 100%. That's its max value. And the fact that we went up means that there has to be new people like offering their shares if they own AMC to go on loan. And then basically other people in the market are taking those on loan. And we could assume that a high percentage of them are actually shorting it. So as you could just see, ever since mid-March, the trend has been up. And the one thing I want to talk about new in this video, Ortex, shout out to Ortex. That's his platform. I arguably think it's one of the most reliable sources to get up-to-date information, especially related to AMC, GME, Microvision, all these stocks that we happen to be talking about. But anyway, so days to cover. That is a formula basically where you look at the shares that are either on loan being short and you're dividing that by the average volume. And it's just the idea that if the shares wanted to cover and they were doing it like just hitting the market based on the average volume, how long would it take all of them to cover? So it's very common when you're looking at this formula. For whatever reason, they look at the average volume over the past 3 months. Personally, I don't think that's that smart to do because in scenarios of a short squeeze, i.e. AMC and GME, the volume goes abnormally high right around the short squeeze. So personally, I think it's a better data point to use a shorter time frame, and that's what Ortex just did. Instead of doing 3 months, which is still an option, they also have an option right here, days to cover based on the past 2 weeks, which is very smart because it's just a better indication of what's going on in a smaller time frame. Based on that data, we are at another high of 4.15 days. This trend is phenomenal for us. So basically what it's saying is based on 2 weeks of whatever the average volume is, if these shorts wanted to get out, it would take them a full 4 days. Now, I would assume it's a little bit less than that because in scenarios when we are actually squeezing, the volume is even higher. But the fact that it's more so of like, yes, this is a high magnitude, but on top of that, look at this trend. It's this bottom line right here. It's been going sky high. As this number goes higher and higher, that is better for us. The same thing with the short interest, the shares on loan, the utilization is now constant at 100%. Things are looking great for us. And on top of that, the way I've been saying of like, hey, the magnitude of all these numbers of what we need, it's there. We need that bullish price action to start to trap all of these bears. And that's exactly what we saw today. A gain of 13% in AMC and almost 12% in GME. Things are finally coming together for us. So clearly, I mean, I've always been saying like, don't listen to the FUD. This isn't a dead cat. Like the data's been there for us. And now we're finally getting that final missing piece of the puzzle, the price action, which is clearly favoring us. I am incredibly excited to see how the remainder of this week plays out. In terms of GameStop, the short interest once again increased today, up 2.5%. The borrow change is around 366,000, which means that the shares on loan is around 15 million. The short interest is 27% after today's action, and the utilization is 57%. Just to give you an idea, the days to cover for GME is a 1.9, so it's almost half really of what's going on with AMC. I'll make this part quick. I know there is some people interested in what's going on with Microvision MVIS, especially after today, because I mean, to be honest, it did have a pretty impressive day. But anyway, the estimated short interest is around 24.23%. The borrow change after today went up by 750,000, which puts it around 39 million shares on loan. And the utilization is considerably high at 94.77%. But on the other side, the days to cover based on the 2-week average trading volume actually dropped quite a bit today, down to 1.24 days, just so you know what's going on with MVIS. And like, obviously it's worthwhile to bring up because it did have a pretty amazing day. In terms of the overall market, you should know that on Friday, it made a new all-time high of 418.25 cents. And today we were 3 cents off from testing that. So the market, like, I'm not saying just a relative high, I'm saying an all-time high ever. That's why a lot of things were green today. I mean, it's just the market is running. Let's talk about AMC. I did an interview with Trade Trades over the weekend. I would recommend checking that out if you just want to hear us talk about what's going on with AMC. And one of the things we were both interested in watching this week is when the market closed on Friday, we were pushing on this trend line. But what's interesting now is if you look at AMC, we finally got that breakout. Of course, yes, it could be a fake out breakout. That is 100% possible. It's something to consider. I don't think it is. That's just my own opinion. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. But today's action, it was just incredible. I'm fully looking for a continuation of this. And in terms of the RSI, which is a relative strength index, if this is the first time you're hearing about it, basically has values of 0 to 100. It maps out bullish against bearish momentum. When it gets very high, that's a lot of bullish momentum, aka it's being overbought. And when it's very low, that's a lot of bearish momentum, aka it's being oversold. As you can see, relative to the last 2 times it ran, we still have quite a bit of time, like room to run from here. It's not like we're already maxed out. Like, it definitely has room to run, which is very good for us. In terms of a smaller time frame, here's a look at AMC's 4-hour chart. I just want to lay out the technical levels in case you can't hang out with me in my daily live streams. Here are the levels I'll be watching. Today, we were battling at 1150. We got it as high as I believe as 1196. We came back down. So I'm looking for us to retake 1150. Past that, of course, we have to get above today's high, right around $12. But from there, 1250, and after 1250, I think it's going to be clear sailing up to 1350, just in terms of previous levels of support and resistance. On the downside, I would say the closest support is first that key psychological level at 11, and past that we have 1064. Don't be surprised. The RSI is kind of blown out on this time frame. Don't be surprised if it needs to consolidate just a little bit so the RSI has like time to cool off, and then from there we can rip again. But also, just because it's technically overbought on this time frame, that doesn't mean it has to instantly drop. It can remain in the overbought, oversold, or even the neutral territory for quite a while. There's no like hard, fast rules when it comes to technical analysis. It's all of just like kind of ideas of what we're seeing, and you give your best thesis, but nothing is ever guaranteed in the stock market. Please remember that. In terms of GME, So this one, not as strong in terms of this chart as AMC was, at least not for now, but today's action was still great. It gained almost 12%, trading at 169 in post-market, bounced off of this 144 support where we've seen as resistance in the past, support in the past, bounce there once again. The main thing I'm looking for is a successful break of 175. Rejected there today. Previously, it was support. Obviously, 175 is pretty important. Actually, that entire region of 175 to 185 is clearly resistance. On top of 185, I will be watching 200. From there, 227. Another repeat of today. We've seen it before. GME can obviously get very, very out of hand, and I mean that in a favorable way. So I'm excited. I mean, how could you not be excited about what we're seeing in AMC and GME right now? The short interest numbers, the shares on loan, the days to cover, everything is in our favor. And now finally the price action is. So if you happen to be in it, just so you know, to be fully transparent, I have all my AMC and GME shares. I have all my AMC and GME call options. And on top of that, I bought more AMC shares today. And I bought actually, I believe, 25 more call options on AMC. That's how strongly I feel in this right now. I can't guarantee anything. I'm not a financial advisor. But just so you know, for the sake of transparency, I'm putting my own money where my mouth is. I am betting on this movement, and I believe basically in my own thesis. And more importantly, I believe in all my fellow apes who are part of this movement. I'm very, very excited to see how this plays out. And just to touch a little bit on MVIS, I mean, it absolutely ripped today. I was looking for a test of somewhere in the $28. It hit that in the post market. In the post market, it went as high as $29.70. I do have some call options on that you can kind of see over here. I have 5 call options. Thus far, I've been doing pretty well on them. I'm just looking for a good opportunity to get out. I want to see if it's going to get rejected in the $28 to $30 range. And if it looks like it's going to get rejected, I'll just take my profits and most likely reinvest that into AMC, GME. Or if it looks like it's going to run, I'll hold it on for a little bit because the expiration date is May 21st. On top of that, please don't forget, if you happen to be involved in Tesla, they do have an earnings announcement, an earnings report after the market closed today. So I'm expecting some considerable volatility in the post and pre-market for Tesla today and tomorrow, and especially in the normal market action tomorrow, because that's just like how it commonly reacts. It is a fundamental driver whenever we know about how the company is doing. The early reports are saying that it did beat across the board, but you never know what the company is going to say in terms of their guidance or production or anything like that. So don't be surprised if Tesla's abnormally volatile tomorrow. So with all that being said, I hope there's a giant smile on your face. If you happen to be involved in AMC and GME, there's a lot of reasons to be smiling right now. I mean, I'm the most bullish I've been on it in quite a while, and I've always been pretty bullish. But right now, what I'm seeing, it just seems like a lot of pieces are coming together. I would love to know your thoughts. So maybe I'm overlooking something, but let me know your thoughts on AMC and GME in a comment below. Don't forget, if you want to spread this type of content to someone else, like maybe a fellow brother or brethren ape, I would appreciate if you could drop a like and leave a comment. It just helps me out the YouTube algorithm. If you want to be a member of the Moon Gang, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, I post update videos like this, and I also do live streams during the market hours from Monday to Friday. So if you want to be a member of that, hit the subscribe button, go over to the bell icon, click on that, and switch it to always, and you should theoretically get a notification anytime I'm posting a new piece of content. For those of you who are wondering, this platform that you're seeing in front of you is Webull. It's a free platform. You get free trades, and if you sign up, you'll get a free stock. If you deposit $100, you'll get a second free stock. It is also an extra way to support this channel. But for me, Duck Shirt and Chair, best of luck in the markets.